Shalom, shalom. I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, the elders, and the men of great millstone, as well as those men that preach and teach the likewise doctrine. No compromises, no mixing it to fix it. It's your brother Batakallah from the GMS camp here in Chicago. Back at you with another video. Through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. We're going to get right into it. I was inspired today by a video that the brother sent me, and the elder apostle Tahar was talking about the Greek organizations that all these jakes join, these fraternities and sororities. And I come from a family of people that was involved in that heavily and tried to have me be involved in it as well. So the lesson inspired me to do a lesson myself. So Thawadi Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai for that. But let's start off in this book of Proverbs, chapter 3 and verse 31. And it says, "Envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways." All right, and this is what that is, man. When you join those Greek organizations, that's something that these heathens came up with, and these Edomites, especially in this society, as far as the new Roman Empire or the Neo-Roman Empire, these Edomites are the ones that really started doing that shit in this period of time. With all of this, when you go to college and all that, and you join the secret societies or these fraternities or whatever, that's what they all are, secret societies. And one thing that you will notice if you look at all of these organizations, or Salaki, if you look at all of these higher up individuals in society that are jakes, all of them are a part of these organizations. Martin Lucifer the King was in a fraternity called Alpha Psi Alpha. I can't really think of too many other examples right now, but all of these high up people, Shaquille O'Neal, he's a high up nigga in this society. The basketball player, he's in Omega Psi Phi. Michael Jordan was in Omega Psi Phi, or known as the Q Dogs. That's what Jake called them, on the street. Kevin Samuels, the nigga Kevin Samuels was a Kappa Alpha Psi. So all these high up jakes that they give you, man, all these niggas are already set up to be a part of their society and to be a part of what's going on. And even when you go into the lower levels of society, where we're talking about administrators like principals and managers in corporations and things like that, where they might not necessarily be a famous person, but they hold a position of power either at their job or in their community. All these people be in sororities and fraternities, man, if they jakes, man. This is Jeremiah chapter 10 and verse 2. "Thus saith Yahweh, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. For the customs of the people are vain, for one cutteth a tree out of the forest, and work the hands of the workmen with the axe." All right. But the point being is that this is actually going into, that Christmas tree ritual. But the point being is that you're not supposed to be doing stuff that you see these heathens doing, and you're not supposed to be going after their customs. And that's exactly what these fraternities and shit are, man. That's some shit that heathens do, bro. And when and that's why when Jake joins these fraternities, they're allowed to attain high levels in society. All right. Even my grandfather, he just the Lord just called him back to the spirit world, but he was the first so-called black police captain in the state of Illinois for the Illinois State Police. And guess what? This nigga was a Q dog, man. You get what I'm saying? Like you're not going to attain no heights or no glory in this society as a Jake unless you go against Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. And see, what they don't tell you about these fraternities and these sororities is that, number one, you got to do a bunch of unlawful ass rituals and a bunch of homo shit. But on top of that, you gotta bend the knee to pagan gods. These niggas that join these so-called black Greek fraternities, they each one of these fraternities got their own pagan god that they bend the knee to. For example, the Q Dogs patron saint god or pagan god that they worship is Anubis. And all these niggas, and then that's another thing, man. These niggas supposed to be Greeks, but they worship Egyptian gods. These niggas are fucking idiots, man. But it's required for you to bend the knee and forsake Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai in order to complete your process of joining this fraternity, man. This is not some shit that you just get to go and have parties and because these niggas think you cool, you a part of the gang now. You really got to make some sacrifices to join this shit, man. And the number one sacrifice they make you make is that you got to forsake Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. All right. Now we're going to go here. Is the book of First Maccabees, chapter 1 and verse 11. All right. Is the book of Maccabees. Actually, let me read up. I just want to give some context of the time period that this is in. Salaki, I'm gonna go up pretty high actually. Yeah, I'm gonna just start at the top. All right. This is First Maccabees chapter 1 and verse 1. And it happened after that Alexander, son of Philip, the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Chittim, had smitten Darius, king of the Persians and the Medes, that he reigned in his stead the first over Greece. So this is giving you a drop back on what time period this in. This is when Alexander the Great took down the Persians and started the Edomite Greek Empire. All right. This is verse 2. And made many wars and won many strongholds and slew the kings of the earth. Salakia. And went through to the ends of the earth and took spoils of many nations, insomuch that the earth was quiet before him, whereupon he was exalted and his heart was lifted up. All right, and that's just like what happened in Rome when the Romans went to the ends of the earth and took over and spoiled everybody, and just like how the Neo-Roman Empire, which is what you would call the United States of America, what do? They go to the ends of the earth, they establish bases, and they take people's shit. That's what the military is, all right? These international bankers, they loan money out to certain countries. When these countries default on these loans and they don't want to give up the collateral that they put up for the loan, the bankers send the United States military to the country. The United States military breaks them down and they start taking resources. They kill the leader and put somebody that's a puppet leader in charge. All right. That's what the U.S. military is for. All right. Verse 4. And he gathered a mighty strong host and ruled over countries and nations and kings who became tributaries unto him. See, Salakia, when they go to these places, the point is to make you a tributary. All right. That's what these bankers are all about. Taking over countries by loaning money at extreme usurious rates. And then when you can't pay them, you have to become a tributary and either give your land up or constantly give your resources up to them and basically use their money to put yourself further in debt, making your country a perpetual tributary to them. Even the United States of America, so-called, is in this position. That's why the country has so much debt. And even though they use this country as the military or the collector, the debt collector, like in the mob where they send a dude out to make collections, and it's a big dude, so if you don't have the money, he beats you up and makes you give him the money. That even though the United States holds that position to these bankers, they still are tributaries and they still are held accountable for the debt that they incur as well, which is why this country is crumbling. And you know they're gonna move to a global society once this country and everybody else collapses, because almost every country is attached to the financial stability of the so-called United States of America. All right. So once that falls, a vast majority of these countries around the world are going to fold as well, because all of their reserve currency is the U.S. dollar. Now, China and Russia have created their own reserve currency now, but a majority of the countries in the world are not dealing with that. A majority of the countries in the world are dealing with NATO, which is pretty much ran by the United States via these bankers, who are really the ones that are in charge. All right. This is verse 5. And after these things he fell sick and perceived that he should die. Wherefore he called his servants, such as were honorable and had been brought up with him from his youth, Salakia, and parted his kingdom among them while he was yet alive. So Alexander reigned 12 years, then died, and his servants bare rule every one in his place. And after his death they all put crowns upon themselves, so did their sons after them many years, and evils were multiplied in the earth. All right, so basically after Alexander conquered the whole world, he was getting ready to die from whatever disease that he had. A lot of people think it was a disease that was connected to him being a Mo. Whatever it was, he died after 12 years of conquering the world and divided his kingdom among his generals. And it's about to name one of them, but I know one of them was Antiochus Epiphanes, one of them was Ptolemy, and I don't know the other two, so Salakia. But this is verse 10, or Salakia, real quick before I go into verse 10. And then it says here, and evils were multiplied in the earth. And why is that? Because when these Edomites took over, they start going to all of their lands that they conquered and forcing all of the people of these lands to live their lifestyle, which is a wicked lifestyle that involves Mo activities, eating swine, all type of crazy shit that most of these people, a lot of them weren't doing it. That's why it says that the evil was multiplied in the earth. A lot of this shit that these Edomites put on people, they wasn't doing. Now, was they going off in their own way? Yes. But these Edomites are at the bottom of the barrel when it comes to wickedness, man. So they start making people do things at the penalty of death. And we're going to go into that in a little bit. All right. This verse 10. And there came out of them a wicked root, Antiochus, surnamed Epiphanes, son of Antiochus the king, who had been an hostage at Rome, and he reigned in the 137th year of the kingdom of the Greeks. In those days, there out of Israel, Salakia. Start that over because this is the point right here. Verse 11. In those days went there out of Israel wicked men, who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us, for since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow. And this is what these Greek niggas do, man. These boule niggas, this is who they are right here, saying this shit. They want to convince all Jake to do the shit that Esau says to do and to operate inside of Esau's society under Esau's laws, so that we can have a better, not we as a people, but so that they as individuals can have a better life, for convincing niggas to do this shit, man. Because this shit that Esau is showing us is never going to result in a better case for Jake, ever. That's the whole point of it. But these individuals, they get a lot of riches and they get a lot of high positions, and they get certain respect among Edomites when they teach you Jakes to be wicked, man. And when they convince you Jakes to go after the ways of the heathen, man. All right? Like I said, it's not a mistake that Martin Lucifer the King was an alpha, okay? And what was he telling you to do? To hold hands with Esau and to forgive Esau and to go after the ways that Esau was going after and be together with him. That shit is wicked, man. You're not supposed to be doing that. We got a way that the Lord gave us, and he only gave it to us, and we just supposed to go after that, not after nothing else that these niggas are talking about, man. That's it. Even when you look at these niggas like Michael Jordan and Shaq, these niggas walking around, got a full head of hair, but want to shave they shit bald. That shit's wicked, man. You're not supposed to do that. It's in the scriptures that say you're not supposed to be shaving your head bald like that. All right? Walking around, putting a razor to your head, and you fucking 25, man. But that's what these niggas do. They get these, they do the branding. They got these niggas getting tattoos. They got niggas doing all type of wild shit, man. And they doing it because Esau tells them that if they want to have money, if they want to be an endorsement, they want to get this job, you got to be a part of this shit. You got to do the same shit we do, and not just you got to do it. You got to do it in a way that's going to influence other people to do it. All right, and what happened in the 90s? These niggas had all these niggas shaving their head bald. Motherfucker is 16 years old, walking around with a shiny bald head. Wicked as fuck, man. all type of crazy shit, man. And that's really been the story of Jake in this society, man. These niggas been going wild, doing all type of crazy shit at the behest of these boule niggas that are in charge, all right? And all of these boule niggas are Greeks, man, for the most part. Let me keep going. Salakia. Verse 12. So this device pleased them well. Then certain of the people were so forward herein that they went to the king, who gave them license to do after the ordinance of the heathen. And this is see these people are so out of line, and they so far away from Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, and they don't care about the Lord so much that these niggas are going and they asking kings to give them a break on the laws that the Most High gave them, man, so that they could do shit that heathens do and not have to worry about it, as if this king is going to stop the Most High from jacking your ass up, man. But that's how bugged out these Jakes are, man, and that's because they don't believe. They don't have faith, man. And what's crazy is that these Edomites believe and they understand what's going to happen, which is why they tell you niggas to do the shit that you do to influence people so that you can get other people fucked up, man. And you niggas still don't see through what these Edomites saying and understand that, man. Because if he didn't believe in all of this stuff, he wouldn't be. If he didn't believe in all of this stuff, he wouldn't be having Jakes doing that type of shit. Because it wouldn't matter. Because the Lord ain't. If he didn't believe the Lord was coming back, he wouldn't have to make Jakes go off, man. If he didn't believe that the Lord was with Jake, he wouldn't have these niggas and pay these niggas all this money to make Jake go off. All right? Let me go to, actually, let me get this real quick. Because this is also in the scriptures as well. I think it's in chapter 5. Here we go. All right. Because Esau understands who he's dealing with, man. And Esau understands what's coming. And this is why he hires these Jakes to do what they got to do. All right. This is the book of Judith, chapter 5 and verse 16. And they cast forth before them the Canaanite, the Pharisite, the Jebusite, and the Sichemite, and all the Girgasites. And they dwelt in the country many days. Salakia, let me go up. I started too low. My bad. Let's see. Salakia. All right, here we go. Yeah, my bad. I had to start up higher, way higher. I kind of jumped down to the point. All right, I'll start at 3. This is the book of Judah, chapter 5 and verse 3. And he said unto them, Tell me now, ye sons of Canaan, who this people is that dwelleth in the hill country, and what are the cities that they inhabit, and what is the multitude of their army, and wherein is their power and strength, and what king is set over them, or captain of their army? And why have they determined not to come and meet me, and more than all the inhabitants of the west? And said Achior, the captain of all the sons of Ammon, Let my Lord now hear a word from the mouth of thy servant, and I will declare unto thee the truth concerning this people, which dwelleth near thee, and inhabiteth the hill countries, and there shall no lie come out of the mouth of thy servant. These people are descendants of the Chaldeans, and they sojourn heretofore in Mesopotamia, because they would not follow the gods of their fathers, which were in the land of Chaldea, for they left the way of their ancestors and worshipped the God of heaven, the God whom they knew. So they cast them out from the face of their gods, and they fled into Mesopotamia and sojourned there many days. Then their God commanded them to depart from the place where they sojourned, and to go into the land of Canaan, where they dwelt, and were increased with gold and silver, and with very much cattle. But when a famine covered all the land of Canaan, they went down into Egypt and sojourned there, while they were nourished and became there a great multitude, so that one could not number their nation. Therefore the king of Egypt rose up against them and dealt subtly with them and brought them low with laboring in brick and made them slaves. Then they cried unto their God, and he smote all the land of Egypt with incurable plagues, so the Egyptians cast them out of their sight. And God dried the Red Sea before them and brought them to Mount Sinai and Cade's barn, and cast forth all that dwelt in the wilderness. So they dwelt in the land of the Amorites, and they destroyed by their strength all of Esbon, and passing over Jordan, they possessed all the hill country. And they cast forth before them the Canaanite, the Perizzite, the Jebusite, the Shechemite, and the Girgashites, and they dwelt in that country many days. And here it goes right here. And whilst they sinned not before their God, they prospered, because the God that hateth iniquity was with them. But when they departed from the way which he appointed them, they were destroyed in many battles very sore, and were led captives into a land that was not theirs. And the temple of their God was cast to the ground, and their cities were taken by the enemies. All right, and that's so Esau understands, okay? Esau read this. He knows what he got to do to defeat us, and he sets you niggas up that think y'all are some high and mighty. I'm a principal. I'm a police captain. I'm a governor. I'm a basketball nigga. He sets these niggas up to make you stupid motherfuckers follow behind him and do dumb shit. And then when you do that shit, the Lord don't help us, and we end up getting jacked up because we've been going off. All right. And we all done went off before. I'm not saying this like I ain't never went off or nothing, but what I'm saying is that people joining organizations and purposely sending people off on purpose, that shit is wicked as hell, man. And anybody that does that deserves worse than death. That shit is terrible. And because you know what you're doing. These Edomites, they tell them what they doing, and they tell them what to say and what not to say. These jakes are fully in the know about what's going on. All right. And they don't give a damn. All they care about is making money. Getting hot, getting a break from this punishment that we receiving, that we supposed to be learning from, man. But Jake want to find the back door out of being punished so that they can enjoy their time now, and they're going to pay the price for that. All right, but this is 2 Maccabees chapter 6 and verse 12. Now I beseech those that read this book that they be not discouraged for these calamities, but that they judge those punishments not to be for destruction, but for a chastening of our nation. All right. And this is how the Lord deals with us, man. Do we get punished? Yes. But it's not to destroy us. It's to chasten us and to make us understand what we need to be doing and to make us better ultimately. All right. And to be able to put us in the proper state where we can really be true judges and rulers on this earth when the kingdom comes, just like the elder Yak always goes into. All right. Verse 13, for it is a token of his great goodness when wicked doers are not suffered any long time, but forthwith punished. For not as with other nations, whom the Lord patiently forbeareth to punish till they be come to the fullness of their sins, so dealeth he with us. All right. And that's something that a lot of these jakes will say. Well, how is God real if these white people can go around and they've been enslaving us and jacking us up for so long, but nothing ever happens to them? That's why nothing happens to them, because when the Lord punishes these heathens, he doesn't do it right away. He lets them get to the full height of their wickedness so he can really jack their ass up for good, man. Verse 15, lest that being come to the height of sin afterwards, he should take vengeance of us, and therefore he never withdraweth his mercy from us. And though he punish with adversity, yet doth he never forsake his people. So anything that you dealing with, anything that Jake is dealing with, man, is not for them to be destroyed as a people, man. For us to be destroyed as a people. Yeah, some of these niggas gonna get judged and they're gonna go to the spirit world. But us as a people are not gonna be destroyed based off of the punishments that we going through, because that's not what they for, man. They are to make us better. Now, when these heathens get jacked up, especially when Esau gets jacked up, finally, it's going to be for him to be destroyed, man. When Esau finally got an answer for what he's done, all the Edomites going to get killed, man. Ain't going to be no more Edomites walking around after a certain point in time, man. They're going to be like a fairy tale. Verse 17, but let this that we at spoken be for a warning unto us, and now will we come to the declaring of the matter in a few words. Eleazar, one of the principal scribes, an aged man and of a well-favored countenance, was constrained to open his mouth and to eat swine's flesh, but he, choosing rather to die gloriously than live stained with such an abomination, spit it forth, and came of his own accord to the torment, as it behooved them to come that are resolute to stand out against such things as are not lawful for the love of life to be tasted. All right, so they was trying to get him to go off in front of everybody. They tied him down to do it at first, and he wouldn't do it. They wanted to make him eat the swine. He wouldn't do it. So they go and they take him to go basically to punish him for not wanting to do it. And, it's going to say what happens after that. This is verse 21. But they that had charge of that wicked feast, for the old acquaintance they had with the man, taking him aside, besought him to bring flesh of his own provision, such as was lawful for him to use, and make as if he did eat of the flesh taken from the sacrifice commanded by the king. So the people in charge of this ceremony, after he didn't want to eat the swine, they took him to the side and they told him, look, you ain't got to eat no swine. You can eat something lawful. I don't care what it is that you eat, but just make it look like you eating swine in front of all these people so that they'll follow you and eat the swine. All right. Verse 23, but he began to consider discreetly, and as became his age and the excellency of his ancient years and the honor of his gray head whereon was come, and his most honest education from a child, or rather the holy law made and given by Yahweh. Therefore he answered accordingly, and willed them straight ways to send them to the grave. All right, so instead of lying, instead of being a hypocrite and not eating the swine, but making people think that that's what he did, he told them to kill him, because he understood that people knowing who he was, being a great man, would follow behind him and do whatever he did. And if he ate the swine, they wouldn't think it was that big a deal, and they'll just do it. All right. Verse 24, for it becometh not our age, said he, in any wise to dissemble, whereby many young persons might think that Eleazar, being 80 years old and 10, were now gone to a strange religion. And so they, through mine hypocrisy and desire to live a little time and a moment longer, should be deceived by me, and I get a stain to mine old age and make it abominable. So he's basically saying, I'm already 90 years old anyway. Why would I want to live a little bit longer because I did this? I might as well just die now, be a man about it, and not send nobody off, and keep my honor. For though for the present time I should be delivered from the punishment of men, yet should I not escape the hand of the Almighty, neither alive nor dead. And see, this verse 26 right here is something that these boule niggas don't understand, man. They think that they'll rather escape the punishments that Esau is bringing down on us in this life by sending Jake off, instead of bearing through the punishment, because it's really the Lord that's sending the punishment down on us. Instead of taking the punishment like a man, they think that because they think that they'll just do what Esau says on this side and that they'll be cool. They can live a comfortable life. They don't have to be under the curses, so they think, and they can keep going forward. But guess what? Esau's punished. What Esau feel like about you don't got nothing to do with what the Lord feels, man. The Lord is not a respecter of persons. And when you try to that's you trying to backdoor the Lord. That's you trying to shortcut the Lord. When we've been put in a position by the Lord to take this punishment, but you want to go to the object of the punishment, who is Esau, and make a deal with him, thinking that you finna get out of some shit. And it's not going to happen, man. Verse 27. Wherefore now, manfully changing this life, I will show myself such as one as mine age requireth, and leave a notable example to such as be young to die willingly and courageously for the honorable and holy laws. And when he said these words, immediately he went to the torment. And you got to remember this, man. You know, the scriptures say that the things aforetime were written for our learning. This account is put in here on purpose, man, so that you can understand, because a day is going to come where it's going to be similar things going on, and it's already happening, but I'm talking about on a mass scale. Because like I said, these Greek niggas already made this deal, but everybody going to have to make a deal with Esau one day, and you going to want to remember this so that you don't do no dumb shit and take the wrong thing, and now you messed up with the Lord forever. Well, not forever, but you messed up with the Lord to die on this side and had to come back in the kingdom if you're an Israelite. You don't want to do that. You would rather just hold your nuts like Eleazar, take the loss on this side, which really ain't a loss. It's really you showing that you got faith in the Lord, which is a win. Say fuck Esau, and then, you know, the Lord will take care of the rest. Verse 29. They that led him changing the good, will they bear him a little before into hatred, because the foresaid speeches proceeded as they thought from a desperate mind. But when he was ready to die with stripes, he groaned and said, It is manifest unto the Lord that hath the holy knowledge, that whereas I might have been delivered from death, I now endure sore pains in the body by being beaten, but in soul am well content to suffer these things, because I fear him. And, you know, like I had mentioned earlier, it's better not to make the deal with Esau and to take whatever he got to give you, because that's you showing the Lord that you really are about what the Lord says to be about, man. And it shows that you're really willing to do what you got to do for Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai. And some people are going to have to lay their life down for that. But some people are going to be walked into a situation like this and be willing to lay their life down, and the Lord is going to save them. All right. But whatever happens, it don't matter. All that matters is that you showed that you was down with the Lord and you wasn't willing to compromise, even if it meant that you was going to endure bodily harm or even death. That's what real faith is about, man. Verse 31. And thus this man died, leaving his death for an example of noble courage and a memorial of virtue, not only to young men, but unto all his nation. So you make sure you keep this in your mind, man. And Lord willing, you know, when that day comes and I'm put in front of a choice like that I can keep this in my mind and make the right choice, because you don't want to go, like I said up there earlier, you don't want to be sacrificing comfort right now, because the Lord is not going to be, you ain't going to be able to get out of whatever you got to deal with the Lord at the end of the day, man. So it's best to just do the right thing and to take whatever it is that you got to take in the name of Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai. And all you Greek niggas, man, if you don't repent, it's over for y'all, man. But with all that being said, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, the elders, and the men of great millstone, as well as those men that preach and teach the likewise doctrine. No compromises, no mixing it to fix it. Shalom to all the Akim and a few Akwat who may be listening. And until next time, Lord willing, Shalom.